What's going on, guys? It's your boy beatsbyash, back at it again with another banger of a video. And today I have a really awesome red-green delirium-esque draft that I wanted to showcase for you guys. Now, I know I already did one red-green draft, but I wanted to showcase this one specifically because I think there is a big difference between green decks that are just fine and have the synergies for delirium or synergies for manifest, and the ones that have 3+ rares, because the rares and the very strong cards in this format go very, very hard in green and become even more busted cards because of the vast amount of card selection and recursion that green possesses. So I hope you guys enjoy the games, enjoy the draft, and without further ado, let's get into the goo. Alright, welcome back to another Duskmourn draft on the channel, and we are starting off with one of the most powerful cards in the format as our rare, the Roller Crusher Ride. Man, every time I see this card, it reminds me of Nothing But Trouble, the movie. If you've never seen that, I definitely recommend it, but they have a thing called the Roller Crusher, essentially, that kills people. But this card is insane. It's literally good in every deck, and there was multiple good gold cards in that pack. That pack was insane. Oh my gosh, well, we are rolling on back-to-back rares here. The Roller Crusher into Enduring Vitality. This is a great card as well. It just makes it to where all of your creatures become mana rocks, which is super, super nice. There's also a Beastie Beatdown. This is a superb start, man. This is looking really, really awesome. Okay, and to follow that up, we see a Break Down the Door and also a Arabella. Man, the power level in these packs is literally going off the charts here. Yeah, this is really, really tough, man. I mean, if I just want to follow down the red-green path, this card is great, but Arabella is honestly just like an A. Like, this is one of the most unfair cards in the format, I have to say. Not as good as the Roller Crusher, and although maybe we don't get the most value from it, but like, this card just wins games. I guess I will just take this Break Down the Door because, you know, we could splash the Roller Crusher Ride if we need to. And it looks like this pack has quite a bit more of a drop in power level than the last three, but still some goodies in here. I'm kind of glad that I've decided to go down the green path, because there's still a couple good green cards here. Bashful Beastie is one that I think it's just good to have one of in your green decks. Like, really good card to manifest into, and just a sizable body. I'm going to go Say Its Name, though, because this card is excellent. Yeah, Say Its Name has turned out to be pretty much the best way to enable Delirium. It's technically possible for you to enable Delirium on turn 2, although unlikely, but just the possibility of that makes this card pretty crazy. Alright, and to follow that up, there is a Cryptid Inspector, which I do think is a good focal point of a Manifest deck. Unfortunately, there's also a Turn Inside Out in here, which is, I mean, just one of the most premium cards that has Manifest on it in the set. Arguably better than, you know, the card Manifest Dread itself, because this Manifest Dreads for 1 mana, and you get +3. That is pretty crazy, man. Yeah, this card is insane. It's definitely going to see play in Standard for sure. There's basically only one card in here for us, and it's another Say Its Name. Second one, not as good as the first one, but still, I think I'm happy to play 2 or 3 of these in most green decks. What I really like about green is that if you do end up with rares, because of Manifest Dread just going through so many cards in your deck and giving you so much card selection, you just tend to find the rares very, very quickly and recur them with stuff like Say Its Name over and over again. Well, I could go for this Mountain Cycler, and I think that's what I'm going to do. These aren't great, but I think inside of a Manifest Dread deck, they get a little bit better because flipping into them are cool, and, you know, just being able to have the option to potentially splash other colors is nice. Oh, and there's another one. There's also a Bashful Beastie and a Wary Watchdog here. Bashful Beastie and Wary Watchdog are both kind of on the same power bracket in my opinion, but I think I'm going to go Wary Watchdog because we don't have a 2-drop creature yet, and I find that to be pretty important. Plus, I feel like you want multiple dogs, and you don't really need more than one Bashful Beastie. Oh wow, there's a Hand That Feeds and a Monstrous Emergence going this late. That's pretty crazy. Well, this is our first form of card removal outside of the Roller Crusher, so I think I gotta take this here. And getting this pick 9 is an insane signal that we're doing the right thing. Yeah, this deck is looking great. Ooh, and to follow that up, we get a Grasping Longneck. Drafts don't usually go this well, but yeah, this one is exceeding expectations in pack 1. And we get an Impossible Inferno pick 11. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, this is actually the best home for this card. and a pick 12 Bashful Beastie. Okay, don't mind if I do. Yeah, and we already have literally 12 cards I don't mind playing at the end of pack 1. That is ridiculous. If things keep going down the same path, I'm going to have a lot of premium cards and a lot of cuts to be making. Ooh, and we get a Cryptid Inspector, pick 13. That's nice. Yeah, like, if we have a high enough Manifest Dread theme, I will definitely play this. This card's a little bit better in green-blue, but when you have enough Manifest Dread, it becomes really good because it's just a good cost balance between being low enough for you to flip up, but also just being low enough to play from hand. Now, this pack is quite a bit less exciting than pack 1. Rare is a land, but that's okay because there is another break down the door in this pack, which is, you know, just excellent to have 2 forms of disenchant in your deck, and this is an exile one, which goes a long way because there are a lot of enchantment creatures in this format. So 3 mana exile a creature at instant with the added optionality of manifesting dread. That's disgusting. And there's 4 pretty decent commons in red and green at the bottom of this pack that hopefully we will wheel here. All right, and now there is a Hand That Feeds as well as a Centipede. So a lot of people have been thinking that Moldering Gem Weight Room is just a better version of Centipede, but I've actually found that Moldering Gem is better in the decks where you actually want to ramp. Centipede is better in the decks where, like, you don't want to die because the body to chump is just really, really relevant against the faster decks, and I think that's what we're going to go for here. There was a Hand That Feeds in the first pack, so it's likely we get one of those back. Those cards were going pretty late in pack 1. Okay, well, this pack is very, very light in terms of cards we can play compared to pretty much every other pack we've seen. But there is a card I'm very interested in, Malevolent Chandelier. This card is overperformed, and in almost every green deck, it feels like you want one copy of this because it's so easy to go down to single-digit cards. In almost any game, you have a lot of Manifest Dread effects. So this is a really good card to pick up on, and I would not sleep on it because other people are not going to sleep on the Chandelier as people become more and more informed about the format. But we are 15 cards deep at the beginning of pack 2, which is pretty dang crazy. And we've got a good balance of, like, just every single type. All right, well, there's nothing super interesting here. Glimmerlight is a good card, but I just don't think in green decks. In the Jeskai space, I think it's really good if you have Eerie triggers and stuff. It's okay in here because you can put it on, like, Manifest Dread guys, but I think that's more so better for green-blue decks because our deck isn't, like, entirely about Manifest Dread. It cares about Delirium, and it also cares about, you know, just being aggressive. I think I'm going to go with the Horrid Vigor here. It's not a great card, but it's actually a card I've been having better experiences with the more I play with it, especially if you don't end up with that much hard removal. It's a good substitute. Ooh, okay, there is a Flesh Burrower. I honestly wouldn't be dissatisfied with that versus a red-green land. It's a tough decision. I think since we already got so many playables thus far, I'm willing to just take this red-green land, especially because if we open up a bomb in pack 3, we're in a good position to splash with 1 Centipede, 1 Enduring Vitality, and now a red-green land, which is going to make our mana base just quite a bit better if we want to splash. Okay, we end up getting a Hand That Feeds, which is pretty nice. Pick 6 is about where I'm looking to pick this card up. I will note that Valgoth Slayer has been insane for me. I played this in a blue-white Eerie deck, and I found out as I played, this is an enchantment while also a land, which is really busted when you have the premium Eerie payoffs. Hand That Feeds, I think, is actually your ideal 2-drop at common in this deck. I think you actually would like to have it over Watchdog just because it's so easy to, like, manifest into this and then flip it up and just attack for 4. Well, there's nothing in this pack we're going to be using. I'll just take the rare here. I'm never playing a Ragged Playmate in this deck. It's just not good in this deck. Nothing super interesting. Does the Infernal Phantom go with our deck? We have 3 enchantments. I don't think I really like the Infernal Phantom here. I guess if we end up, like, getting some more enchantments, I might throw it in. Ooh, the Bashful Beastie and the Wary Watchdog wheel. That is pretty dang nice. I already have 1 Bashful Beastie and an Impossible Inferno and a Chandelier for the late game. So I think we will go with the Watchdog. That brings us up to 3 2-drops, which is, like, fine. Could be quite a bit better. This card is surprisingly good if you are trying to splash a bunch of different colors as just an alternative form of fixing. So we'll pick that up in case we just get offered some insane bombs. Okay, second Bashful Beastie, don't mind I do. 2 is kind of the sweet spot, in my opinion. Not going to be playing any of these cards. You know, I might play Final Vengeance if we have, like, a reason to go splash black, because our mana is just good. All right, pack number 3. Hopefully we can see some bangers here. Rare is Peer Past the Veil. This is the discard your hand and then draw equal to your Delirium. I mean, this is just a good card. Yeah, I'm super excited to see that. There's also a Patchwork Beastie though, which is like the best one drop arguably in the format, especially in this deck. If you get it to full value, it's pretty insane. And I wouldn't mind playing a Clockwork Percussionist in this deck. Like, it's just good to have cards that slow down your opponent. But I gotta go with Peer Past the Veil. That card is just a banger. You know, it could help us find our Roller Coaster ride. Ooh, okay. There is a Scorching Dragonfire. You know, we only have one piece of removal outside of the coaster and the break down the door, so that's just a really good find here. Would like to get a couple more 2-drops. Oh my gosh. We are being offered one of the best bombs in the entire format. This card is so oppressive, and I've literally never seen it in a pack until now, so I'm super excited about this. Basically, this card just can, like, never die, and it's extremely broken, because anytime they target it, you just keep tapping it and tap another creature. So if you're able to tap a creature with survival, you just get double value. And then you can also just pay 5 mana to get a huge overrun effect. Man, this pack is juiced. There's also a Defiant Survivor and a Manifest Dread. Wish I could take everything. But 3 bombs so far. This deck is looking crazy. Rare is Mirror Room. I've never seen this. When you unlock this door, create a token. That's insane. If a triggered ability of a permanent you control triggers that ability triggers in addition time, that's also insane. Holy shit, that card is broken. Unfortunately, I just don't think that I'm as interested in that as I am in a Wildfire Wickerfolk, because we really need 2-drops, and this is the best one in the deck. So I'm super excited about that, but legitimately, if this wasn't in the pack, I would take this and just try to make it work, because we have the right amount of fixing, and that card is just insane. But super happy to see the Wildfire Wickerfolk here, and the Patchwork Beastie. Okay, that is very, very nice. And this is also an artifact creature, which helps more consistently enable our Delirium. I mean, there's also a hand that feeds, but I think this is generally speaking just a better card. Wow, this is looking really good. There's also a Ticket Booth. I don't really mind playing Ticket Booth. I think it's a fine card. Our deck also just doesn't seem to care about Manifest Dread as much as I originally thought it did. So maybe I don't want Cryptid Inspector and I actually just play this Ticket Booth, because other than the Manifest Dread, the Double Strike is just really good in this deck because we've got some decently sized beaters, so I wouldn't mind it. And I highly doubt that we're going to get anything else out of this pack, but that's completely fine for me because we seem to be in a very good position. You know, I could be convinced we actually want this Rip Chain guy. He's actually pretty decent in the deck, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he just gives you something to do with your mana and he's big. Okay, and there's a Land Cycler. Looks like a green one. You know, we already have a red one, so. And we get offered another Ticket Booth, Moldering Gym, and a Centipede. I don't think this deck cares that much about the ramp. Centipede seems fine here. Centipede or Ticket Booth. Yeah, I'm just gonna go Centipede. And we'll take another Chandelier, but I doubt we're gonna play it. Oh my gosh, that's a pick 11 Manifest Dread? That's ridiculous. Wow. This deck just became almost instantly juiced. That is crazy. We're definitely gonna have to cut some semi-premium cards because this deck's just all premium. All right, well, we ended up with a pretty insane looking red-green Stompy deck. And do we have some bombs in this deck? Number one, we got the Roller Crusher Ride. We have the Peer Past the Veil for some extra card draw in the late game. Tyvar the Pummeler, which is just a win con in itself. Enduring Vitality, which allows us to ramp up our mana, get that Roller Crusher Ride to maximum value. We also have a Malevolent Chandelier in case we deck out. 2 Bashful Beastie and the Impossible Inferno for some extra value. And then on the lower end of the spectrum, we just have a nice string of 2-drops with a Wildfire Wickerfolk, 2 Say Its Name for Recursion, a Monstrous Emergence, a Scorching Dragonfire, and then, you know, a Turn Inside Out and a Patchwork Beastie. But this deck looks insane, and I'm excited to see what we can do with it. So let's go ahead and hop into these games. All right, hopping into match number 1 here. I believe in the Roller Crusher, boys. Let's see it. Man, if we had a second green, this hand would be insane, but it's still pretty good. One thing I've noticed in this format is, like, if you don't have a 2-drop and you're on the draw, you might just die. Like, there's like a 50-50 chance you just die on the spot. And we get a hand that feeds, okay. Into another Bashful Beastie. Well, that's not great, but we do have a Surveil coming up here. Okay, that's a green. Sweet. I'm actually going to keep that. This hand has almost no interaction, but I believe in Tyvar. Well, let's go for our bomb here. Bombs indeed control the outcome of this format. Cult Healer, okay. Yeah, our 3 drops are not the same, sir. I'm sorry. Our 3 drops are just not the same, buddy. And you're just going to pass back to us. Sweet. Ooh, okay. The Impossible Inferno. Well, that's some interaction. We'll be able to do something with that in a couple turns. You know, I could exile his Slimy Aquarium, but there's probably something better I can save that for. I think, honestly, I could just hold this up and then Manifest Dread during the end step. That might be fine. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have a way to exile. If you don't have a way to exile, Tyvar just takes over the game. And I mean, technically, if we get another land here, our overrun effect will be online. Fear of failed test. Okay. Well, I'm actually going to have to exile that. Wait, you're actually attacking? Okay. Nice. Are you attacking or are you evading me? He's attacking. Okay. What the heck? All right. Holding full control here. Activate effect of Tyvar. Tap, tap, taparoo. Tap, tap, coming to you. Boop. Sorry, Buster. My card is indestructible. All right, now during the end step, I'm just going to have to blow your back out, buddy. My bad. Sorry about you.
Gotcha, bitch.
Sorry about you, bitch. Man, if we would have gotten to land here, this would be so dirty. You know, I guess I can technically double spell by tapping the Wary Watchdog, which is incredibly based. And now we can just go ahead and attack with Tyvar. Everyone, get in there. Yes, sir. And this is kind of a dirty combo, because, like, this lets us tap our other stuff. This lets us tap that, and I'm okay with this dying. One thing you should know is enduring cards, you should feel very comfortable with them just dying in this format, because they come back as enchantments, and in a lot of ways that's better, because sometimes it's more difficult to remove, like, they can't Scorching Dragonfire it, you know, all that stuff. Do I just want to trade off my hand that feeds? I don't think so. I think I just want to keep it up as mana. Ooh, okay, we get a Monstrous Emergence, that's nice. So, technically I have 7 mana to play with here. Yeah, I guess I can do that. I'll still have this up to be able to tap it with the Pummeler, so go ahead and kill his Fear of Immobility. Looks like he's going to be the one having problems with mobility, not me. And let's go ahead and pass. Man, this deck is sweet. Like, I honestly think the most fun decks in this format, so far for me, are the Room decks and the green decks that have, like, 3+ rares. Because green just continues to impress me on how abusive it can be with making cards that are already great amazing. Like, you just have so much card selection that you always see them, and you just always reuse them. Oh my gosh, that's disgusting. All right, well, I guess I'm going to save Tyvar. Card's just too good. All right, well, I'm just going to trigger 3 on death stacks, so that's pretty nice. Get the Wary Watchdog. Unfortunately, for our opponent, this is now a tappable land and a creature for our other stuff, like our Tyvar, and he just turned on our Impossible Inferno, so that's good to see. Okay, sure. I mean, I'm ahead in the race, bro. They call me the boat for a reason, baby. You're not out racing the boat. I wish this guy would, like, play a good card so I can Impossible Inferno. Okay, that's a good card. I'd be down to Impossible Inferno that, maybe. Okay. Yeah, I don't want him to really race us. I'm more afraid of a creature in the air than one on the ground. Okay, nice. Now, if I wanted to, I could just tap these, but that sounds a little bit risky because I want to protect this, so. Well, currently he doesn't have a way to get through the wall. It's crazy how his split up didn't actually, like, negatively affect us, because usually that card is a huge blowout. But when you have Tyvar, none of that really matters. I'm sorry, sir, but my 3 rares trumps your 1. Ooh, that's a good card. I'm not going to lie. That is actually kind of scary. He's going to Surveil too, sure. To the grave, please. Okay, nice. Glimmerlight, you dirty bastard, you. Oh my gosh, this guy's high rolling us. I need to draw another rare. Where's the Roller Crusher when you need it? I could Roller Crusher for 3 and just end his game, please. Not attacking, sweet, we'd love to see it. And I can actually Manifest Dread here, which is hilarious. The question is, do I save the Say Its name? Well, it's going to go away at the end of the turn, so I think I just do it. We milled another one. That's not great. Add back another Bashful Beastie, maybe. Now, this is actually really good, because now I don't have to tap Tyvar. But I still develop to the board. Wow. This interaction of these two rares is really stupid. It'd be a shame if someone top decked a Roller Coaster right here. Okay, he's going to unlock his room. That's fine with me. Now, is this instant speed? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so overrunning is instant speed. This card's just so stupid. Like, I think this card might actually be good in standard. Oh, it's an elf. Yeah, it probably is going to be pretty good in formats where you want to play elf tribal. I know that was a big thing with Collected Company and Historic for a while. I don't know if it is still today. Somebody let me know. Ooh, okay. That's not the most exciting, but we can at least say it removes his Optimistic Scavenger, which is like his main value engine right now, so that is pretty nice. Sorry about you, bitch. And then we're going to tap down the doggy. Tapping down the doggy. And we're going to pass. What you know about that doggy style, son? The Wary Watch doggy style. See, because there's like a guy watching. Get it? He's kind of a cuckold. There's like a guy in the background getting cuckolded by the doggy style. And you're just going to move that over. Okay. Ooh, that's actually so nice in the simplified game state. I mean, eventually I can just start overrunning, but I think this is just better. Now, do I want to put anything back in his graveyard? Probably not. I do want to put a Say Its Name back into my deck, but I don't think I need to do that right now. Tunnel Surveyor, okay. Oh my gosh, guys, he's getting lifelink this turn. It's so scary. Yeah, I mean, I'm down to block with that. Gets us deeper in our deck. Okay, that's actually huge. We are getting closer and closer to the Roller Coaster ride, and I currently have infinite cards in deck with the Chandelier, which is nice. So if I overrun, can I do that twice? Yeah, I think I could, but that's probably not necessary. I think one time will do. All right, and it looks like our opponent is just going to rope us out. Maybe he's DC'd. No, he's still there, and he's just wasted 3 timers with a land. Bro, are you kidding me?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Our opponent has gone through 4 timers just to play a land, and he has no actions? What the heck? Dude, why did you spend the entire time doing that? Well, I'm not going to mill. Ooh, that was a nice top deck. All right, well, let's go Wildfire Wickerfolk. Now let's go to combat here. And let's use this ability. Get him for 9. I was thinking about tapping out my creatures, but I guess it doesn't matter. Let's go. All right, can we draw more rares than before? The current record is 2 rares. Have a total of 4. I believe in the power of card selection, boys. Man, I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, I have just been so happy that green has been very, very playable this year specifically. Because in previous years of Magic, green has just always been the worst color for quite some time in most Magic draft sets. So even though it's been a little bit overpowered this year at times, I'm just happy that it finally gets its time to shine because green is without a doubt my favorite color in Magic, and they've been implementing a lot of new ways to actually give it a better identity, at least in draft. But let me know what you guys think. Do you like that green has been better this year, or are you a green hater? Shout out to all my green mages. All right, well, we started off with a 1-2-3 curve, and that's always good. There's something to be said about that. Unfortunately, I don't have any immediate interaction for the Scavenger, and that's one of the most disgusting cards in the format. Okay, starting with a tap land, cool. So some people always ask the question, when should you mill with a card? Even if you don't have any benefits to milling, you should always do it unless you're in a deck out situation. Because would you want to know what the bottom card of your deck is? Yes. Because even if you don't have any benefits, that's more knowledge to you to play to your outs. Well, I do have a break down the door, which can exile an enchantment, so that is pretty nice. I'm going to go ahead and start off with a Manifest Dread here, because it could allow us to potentially fill the grave and set up Delirium. That's why Manifest Dread is actually good. It's not because getting a 2-2 or flipping into a creature is the best. It's specifically because in the graveyard decks, it makes it very easy for you to hit Delirium. And that's something that was not immediately obvious to me. Okay, we're hitting a Tyvar. Well, that is actually just perfect. And we just put a sorcery and a land in the grave. So now we are 3 of 4 here, which is great. Well, assuming that he does not kill our face down creature here, we'll be able to flip into Tyvar next turn, which is pretty nice, because then that's going to demand an immediate answer, or it's going to take over the game. Yeah, although this is the scariest one drop in the format, I feel pretty safe here. Unwilling Vessel, okay. Milling a red, well, that's not the best. But I can double spell here. Yeah, I do want to flip up the Tyvar, but I think this is just too advantageous to us, because if this sticks, we may be able to immediately Roller Crusher Ride before he gets too much enchantment value. So I'm just going to throw on the Wary Watchdog, because if he has a split up, I will be happier that I did this than not. Let's just go ahead and put that in the graveyard. That should have turned on our Delirium. Yeah, okay, so our Patchwork Beastie is online. And our Roller Crusher Ride is online. What we have to be weary about, though, is that he could just split up. This is kind of a weird situation to split up. I guess he would have to kill tapped, but I don't think he really wants to do that. Tunnel Surveyor, sure. Well, I can just completely pop his board by tapping everything. That puts me in a risky situation to die from split up, but I do have Recursion. Man, that land would have been nice. Okay, we get a 4th land anyway. So I think here I do kind of want to leave my face down card untapped. So I think I'm actually just going to kill 3, 2, 3, 4. No, I can just tap everything. And this is actually more advantageous for us because if he kills all tapped creatures with his split up, that means we're going to be able to keep our Tyvar, and we're going to get our Enduring Vitality back, and trigger Wary Watchdog. Thank you, sir. I know, I'm kind of that guy. And we're just going to Duke Nukem the board, brother. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's some G shit, bro. Okay. I'm sorry, buddy. I have Delirium. That was not worth it, buddy. I have Delirium. Well, let's see if you have the split up. Split up for tap creature, sir? Can I offer you a split up for tap creatures? I will flip my Tyvar. It's fine. Okay, nice. Nice, man. I'm going to flip a Tyvar. Let's go. I might actually want that. Yeah, it's going to allow me to play my hand and flip my Tyvar, so. Good thing I still have this break down the door, though. That's going to be super huge. Well, that was some high elo play right there. We put ourselves in a situation where the split up was not terrible. We forced it out of our opponent's hand while they had an optimistic Scavenger, which is great for us. And he's going to play a Piranha Fly. Well, that's really good for us. I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. And then we're going to play our hand that feeds. And then get in for the 3 here because he's got flyers. Now, if he doesn't answer our Tyvar, we should be able to race him here. Puts us to 13, sure. And he's got a Coal Healer. Okay. Well, I can technically overrun right now. So if I attack here, he's going to do 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to do 15. I think I just want to say its name, because then my Tyvar is vulnerable. And we can buy back whatever we want here. I mean, the Bashful Beastie sounds pretty good. So then I just tap out for the Beastie. The Beastie Boys are here, brother. And that's actually going to make our overrun even better. Okay. Sure. Still got 3 more turns here. We draw another land, so it's going to be easier to initiate this overrun. Attack with both of these. And then we're attacking him for 17, so he has to block this. Yeah, I think that was really good sequencing by us. Assuming he doesn't have, like, an exile effect here. Okay, it doesn't look like he does. Nice. Tyvar is the real deal, boys. Alright, well, he could burst us out here, but it is very unlikely. It's just something you got to be wary about. I feel like in this format, anytime I'm below 10, I feel very unsafe. Glimmerlight, okay. Well, if we want to push through damage, I guess I can exile his enchantment. And that's going to be too much for him. Let's go, baby. Believe in the Roller Crusher. The hype is real. All right, match number 2 with our deck of Amusing Rides. We have a turn 2 play, a turn 3 play, and a way to refuel our hand. So that seems fine to me. Man, this hand would be disgusting on the play here. And he's starting off with a Leyline of Hope. Interesting. I wonder if he'll have any way to gain life. Like, to me, all Leylines are useless. But I did have a guy who got really close to triggering the Leyline of Hope because he actually had, like, I think, like, 4 copies of, like, Ghost in a Shell or whatever it is. The one that exiles something as an enchantment and a creature gets +1/0 in lifelink. He was just stacking up on the lifelinks, and it just really benefited him. Okay, so he's just going to ramp up there. Very interesting in a green-white deck. I haven't really seen anyone do anything super oppressive in a green-white deck, but we'll see if he can break that streak. So we're going to get a Bountiful Beastie here. Good card to flip. I currently don't really have a good way to ramp up our mana, but I guess I'm going to get to it on curve here because we do have that Spine Seeker Centipede. And he's playing a Terramorphic Expanse, so there's a good chance he's splashing something. Now, this is a very interesting situation because I don't want him to get a 1-1 counter on this, but I also just kind of need to establish a body. So it's like, do I do this and go get a red? Or do I just want to play this and hold that up? Yeah, it's very, very close. Although, like, I do think you should be using all your mana every turn. This is kind of just a weird situation. I guess we'll do this and hope that he doesn't have some trick. I'm definitely willing to, like, trade both of my creatures into his guy. Specifically because we have the Pure Pass to Veil. We don't really care about our hand. In fact, sometimes it's advantageous to just discard your hand with 3 cards because you're putting Guaranteed Delirium in your graveyard in those situations, which can be somewhat beneficial. So he just goes and gets a white. So maybe he's just playing that because he has like a green Delirium card. I don't know. Oh, he's got a baseball bat. Well played, sir. Well played. So he's going to go up to 5/5 here, which really, really sucks because now I don't know that my turn inside out will be able to get over that because the baseball bat gives him +1/+1. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of ways to get rid of that if he's snowballing. If he's not going to play anything, that's okay for us, I guess. Well, I guess I should play this, right? There's no reason not to. And then I can drop down the Patchwork Beastie. And then play the Wary Watchdog here. Ooh, that's a Tyvar. I'm keeping. Tyvar's just nice. Tyvar just be nice like that, son. All right, we're going to pass. And maybe he will attack with his Shrewd Storyteller here. It looks like that's the only thing he's got going. So I guess I have some time to chump here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to outvalue that, but we'll see. He's going for an Anthropede. Okay. Well, I guess that might make it somewhat unlikely that he has a way to push through with the Shrewd Storyteller. Still very possible. He could have the 2-cost one. So he tap downs our Wary Watchdog, right? And I'm just going to try it. I mean, we got to risk it for the biscuit, right? And let's go ahead and use our turn inside out. Does he have anything to stop that? He does not. Okay, cool. So I guess we got rid of the threat on the board and we manifest into our Tyvar the Pummeler. So there was one way to do that and that worked out decently. And now we actually have Delirium online, which is huge. Because this will draw us 4 cards. The issue is, I don't want to get rid of Roller Crusher. But I also don't think it's like a great time to do right now. Yeah, I think I just want to pass here. And just flip this up during the end phase. Sure. See who he taps here. Tapping the Wary Watchdog. Okay. Well, I'm going to flip Tyvar. And I'll allow him to tap that, and I'm just going to block. And we're going to use the ability. Okay. Well, I'm going to tap this, and my guy will get indestructible. Sure. Well, you just wasted a trick. That's really nice, sir. Thank you for letting me know that. And we'll go ahead and get our mill here. I guess in this situation, like, I do really just want to use this to refuel my hand. But if I attack with everybody, that's going to be 18. I could just do that. Just overrun, hit for 18, hold this Roller Crusher. That's probably fine. Like, if he kills our Tyvar, who really cares? If I wanted to, I could have left one of these guys up, but I just don't really care if Tyvar dies. Okay. Well, it looks like we've got this guy. Yes, sir. Tyvar is the real deal, baby. This is one of the most oppressive cards in the format, and you guys just witnessed why. This is kind of a suspicious hand because it's kind of high-costed, and I only have 2 lands, but I guess it's one of each, which is better than anything. And, I mean, if we get a land by turn 3, we can probably play. I can probably play 2 lands for, like, 1 turn with this Monstrous Emergence. Okay, we get a land. That's huge, actually. Now, hopefully he doesn't play a 2-drop here, because I can go in with the Wickerfolk Thresher. Oh my gosh, he doesn't. If one of these lands was a second green, though, this would be stupid, because then we'd go turn 3 Tyvar. But I just got to get in with the Thresher. It's just too much value. I'm glad that we actually have a hand with removal, though, because against this survival deck, like, all the good survival creatures do not have haste, so being able to stop that is really, really good. And do I really care about that? I think I'm willing to just, like, potentially trade, right? Not going to trade? Okay. Well, I'm just going to go Patchwork Beastie into hand that feeds. That's just the best tempo play there, using all of our mana. It would suck to mill a land next turn, but it's still worth it, because, you know, I just need to put something in the bin, and we can Monstrous Emergence if we have nothing else to do, right? Cult Healer is going to go ahead and get Lifelink, sure. I don't think there's a reason for him to attack. Oh, he's going Ethereal Armor. Wow. Well, that is just within range of our Bashful Beastie, so that's actually really clutch for us. We'll mill here. We hit a land. Okay. I mean, it sucks to mill a land, but that was the one that we didn't needed. We didn't need another green for our Tyvar, but, you know, 1 out of 4 on Delirium, and that's one of the harder card types to get. We're going to reveal a creature card here. We're going to go ahead and blow that up. So even though we're stuck at 3 lands, we're still in a decent position, and we can go in for 5. Halfway to Delirium. He could just flip this up, which is a little frustrating. Okay, it doesn't look like he's going to do that, which is good, because now I could blow it up before he gets to. Oh, he's just going to pop my Patchwork Beastie? Sure. I mean, does that give me Delirium? It does. Wow, I can't believe he would do that, but okay. I mean, I have 2 creatures with Delirium on the board. That seemed kind of sus, but whatever, man. Get in for 8 there. And, like, this actually is something that could cause an issue. So, you know, I will actually just go ahead and exile this because that creature is bigger than both my creatures, so. We just need to hit 1 more land here. Hopefully it's a green. And this has menace, so it's going to push through. And this dude has 4 attack. Okay, let's go. That's actually so huge. I can play the Beastie. We'll just throw it out here. I mean, it's not a big secret. I'm playing red-green beats. I beat down or I lose. So I'm going to beat down instead of losing here. Trades with a 4-3. He's going to go down to 2. And that should just be game. Yeah, Bashful Beastie is such a good card because it provides you insurance. Let's go.
Gotcha, bitch.
Bashful Beastie is one of the cards that I've been quite a bit up on this past week just because of that residual value. And it's a very interesting thing to think about because in modern Magic in Limited, things that cost 4 or more mana and do not provide a enters the battlefield trigger typically are not going to make it. But Bashful Beastie is just a great synergy with the Manifest Dread mechanic. So I think it's well worth it currently. All right, it's time for the final boss battle. Can we continue the hot streak? It's time to find out. Wow, we're 3 of 3 for losing the die roll here, which is kind of hilarious. And this feels like a terrible time to lose the die roll because our opponent's starting off with, in my opinion, just the best 1-drop in the format. Maybe there's a rare that I'm not thinking of that's 1 cost, but I don't know that there are any 1-cost rares. Yeah, this card is just great because you just trade it away for an extra card and probably gets in for 2 points of damage on the play. And he's got a Glimmerlight. Wow, okay. Well, you know, I'm going to have to throw down the hand that feeds here. I guess it can test the board unless he has a piece of interaction. Hopefully we can get to... Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
I was going to say, hopefully we can survive until we can get the Crusher out, but I don't know if we're going to be able to because this is just disgusting, man. Am I just taking this? I mean, I think I just need to stop damage coming through. Ticket booth. Okay, interesting. I think I just Manifest Dread at instant speed and try to stop him. Oh, wait, no. I just break down the door at instant speed. I didn't realize this was an enchantment. Maybe he'll equip the Glimmerlight to it. Another one. Wow. Yeah, this guy's deck seems crazy. Oh, that is so scary. That is an enchantment, though, so I can remove it. So let's go ahead and exile this. Damn, I really needed to land there. It looks like we're going to have to take some more damage, I guess. Yeah, we might have to go to the second game here. This is just a really aggressive start for our opponent on the play here. And he's going to Manifest Dread. Hopefully he puts the Glimmerlight on his Fear of Exposure. That would highly benefit us. But we might just take too much damage here. Like, even if we get a land, I don't know that I'm going to be able to stop this guy. Well, let's do it again. Please, no way to stop that? Okay, cool. Well, I'm down to 16. That's scary. And he has another 2-drop? Dude. This guy's hand is perfect. Holy crap. That really sucks. I needed to land so bad there. Dude, come on, man. I mean, this trade's with his biggest guy. Not a land. Wow. Okay, well, I guess I had to do that. This is just a hunch, but I have a feeling we're not going to be able to survive to play the Roller Crusher. And he has a Glassworks. Wow, that's just GG. Unfortunate. Next card is a land. I mean, I think I'm just dead. He hits us for 8 here. Now, if I survive and I Roller Crusher for 2, killing 2 things, I wonder if that stabilizes. I don't think it does because he has this Scrapyard. So, depending on how things go, I may just concede and go to the next game. Okay, what do we have in the graveyard? Yeah, because in some situations, it's actually just better to go to the next game and not show your opponent your cards. So, I have to take the land here. Let's say I trade here. I take 5. I go to 3. He has another Shattered Yard. Well, good game, man. We tried our best. All right, well, let's see if we can make our comeback dreams come true. Let's get to a game 3. Man, this is a slow hand, but if I survive, it's pretty decent. I'm going to keep. We're on the play. We might be able to survive a little bit longer. Like, I have my sources in the Roller Crusher, which is a win con. And maybe he just doesn't start with the symbol, dude. He did start with it again. You dirty bastard, you. You dirty bastard, you, sir. Into a Wildfire Wickerfolk. Holy shit, this guy's deck is insane. More like his sequence of draws is insane. But still, that's fucking broken. Alright, we'll play the Cinefeed. Hope that we don't die here. We may just legitimately be dead. He could just Shattered Yard and I just cry. Yeah, he Glasswork Shattered Yard. Okay. Fuck me in the ass and call me Sally then. I understand. Fuck me in the ass and call me Sally, sir. Well, this is very, very bad. Very, very bad indeed. I'm going to do this because it costs more mana. If I chump 1, next turn, I guess I could Roller Crusher for 2. I guess it doesn't really matter here. And he has another Glassworks. You're fucking kidding me, bro. Wow. That is disgusting, dude. We might just die to double after yards or whatever. Well, I'm basically forced to do this. X equals 2. Pay 5. Please don't kill us. Please do not kill us, sir. I have a family to feed. I need people to watch till the end of the video, please. And he has a ticket booth. Okay, wow. This guy is insane. Someone call a judge because this guy's doing broken shit and I can't seem to draw my rares. Okay, that's a real card. So we're going to do this. And we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to pass here. Please do not have another removal, sir. Well, I'm forced to do this. I didn't want to have to do it, but I will do it, sir. I'm down to 5, and my opponent has 2 Aftershocks. Okay. I mean, I guess that's decent. Yeah, I guess I'm going to keep that. This at least provides us some insurance. This way, if he has a Glassworks, I still get the block. But it's likely he's just going to kill us with the Shattered Yard because I have no life gain. Unfortunate set of circumstances. Our opponents just had an extremely aggro start. And I feel like our deck was pretty aggressive. Maybe it was a little greedy for me to keep that hand. I don't know. Oh my gosh, that is disgusting, dude. Well, I'm just dead here. Yeah, this guy's deck is just as premium as ours. But he also is just more aggressive than us. GG, man. And he's got an Irreverent Gremlin. Well, even if I top deck a Scorching Dragonfire and out that, I take 2. And that's not going to be enough. Well played, sir. Well played. It was an unfortunate set of circumstances, but he just drew better than us, and sometimes that's how the cards go. Well played, man. Man, that was unfortunate, but it was a fun one regardless. No, I did not have fun. Only one person in Magic can have fun at a time, contrary to popular belief. And even though we lost, I still had a lot of fun. Just not at the same time as our opponent. Well, that is a little bit of a anticlimactic ending, but I have to say this was an awesome run to showcase on the channel, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So let's do a quick little review of the deck before we end the video. So obviously at the forefront of this deck, we had Tyvar. This card is the real deal, and it is just as scary when I played it as it was every time my opponent played it. Honestly, it just feels like anytime one player has this card, the other player just mysteriously is missing an exile piece of removal. I don't know. It's just funny how that goes, you know. But this card just ends the game on its own. I think even without the overrun effect, this card would be incredibly busted. And especially in conjunction with Enduring Vitality, you know, we displayed multiple times how busted it is to be able to tempo out your other creatures the turn you play this. And the fact this has Vigilance too just makes this card super pushed. And Roller Crusher Ride continues to be one of my favorite cards in the format. Maybe my favorite card just in terms of flavor, because it literally is the Mr. Bone Crusher from the movie Nothing But Trouble. If you've never seen that movie, I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite sci-fi horror movies of all time. And it is just a blast from the past, so make sure to go check that out if you got some time. Peer Past the Veil, we never got to use, but I've used it before, and it was extremely good when I used it, and I was only splashing it. So that tells you in a deck that's dedicated to utilizing the benefits of it, it's still a great card, and we surely would have used it if our opponent would have put up a better fight when we saw it, but nonetheless, it's still just a card that is a nice reward if you were already in the space to take advantage of it, but maybe not something that you want to first pick. Other than that, I mean, we just had a lot of solid, good early plays. Wildfire Wickerfolk, you know, one of the best 2-drops in the format. Wary Watchdog is, you know, one of the premier 2-drops in this deck, but I have to say, I think Hand That Feeds is just a little bit better than Wary Watchdog in this deck, specifically because this card is so nice to flip into when you Manifest Dread it, because it just randomly does 4 damage out of nowhere when your opponent only has 1 blocker and it was face down. Manifest Dread was great too, and Patchwork Beastie. I'm really high on Patchwork Beastie. I just like creatures that set up your game plan and also give you a reward for doing so. A lot of cards say you only get to do B if you already have A, and that could be true about this card, but it allows you to do A as well and get closer and closer. And as well, having the artifact creature tag, this card is great, especially when you're manifesting Dread into it, because then you're just paying 1 to flip it into a 3/3. Even if Delirium isn't online, you can do that during the blocking step, and that is just great. Turn Inside Out has really got me to this conclusion, where I think the other 1 mana combat trick, I think it's called Violent Urge, the one that gives you double strike if you have Delirium, is just a way worse version than this. This card is literally the nuts, and I think in a low power level pack, I'm willing to pick this up, like pick 2, pick 3, and just build off of it because red is so good. And when you compare it to something like Manifest Dread, which is already one of the most premium 2-drops in the format because it's putting 2 cards into the grave, this is just a 1 mana version of that, except instead, you're putting an instant in the grave, and your creature gets +3/0, and you're probably winning a combat. So if you're trading away a creature, then this could just put 3 cards in the grave, which is absolutely amazing for these Delirium decks that are trying to end the game early. And I think more often than not, you're trying to play a more aggressive Delirium game. There's going to be some games where you're grindy, regardless of whether you're red-green or green-black. But I think if you are able to turn on that Delirium early, you're going to be able to end the game very fast. So cards like this really go a long way in this archetype. And this was our first time also getting to use Impossible Inferno, and it was great the one time we got to use it. I think this is a really good card as a one-of in these kind of decks. Likewise with Bashful Beastie, this is one of the pieces of the puzzle to make a good Manifest Dread deck, although we didn't have as huge of a Manifest Dread theme here. I said this once before, but this is one of the only creatures that really makes the cut in modern standards that does not provide an ETB and is above 4 costs. There's something to be said about that, and Break Down the Door really impressed me. I mean, just all the times we were able to exile our opponent's enchantment creature that costed more than this at instant speed really make this go a long while. And, you know, this is a card I'm happy to first pick if the pack isn't great. But, you know, that is just the floor of this card. I mean, being able to instant speed Manifest Dread puts this up there with the blue counterspell that has the optionality to counter something or Manifest Dread. And this really shines because sometimes your opponent is attacking you and they don't have an enchantment creature, but it's just a weenie enough to where you can Manifest Dread at instant speed, get a blocker, and maybe you trade away your creature, put 3 cards in the graveyard. It's just got a lot of great stuff going on, and man, this was a spectacular run to showcase for today's video. Thank you guys so much for getting this far in the video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys were able to see what green can really do at a maximum ceiling when you get all of these different rares. Like, there's such a huge difference between the green decks that have 3+ rares and the green decks that don't. And you could say that about any deck having rares, but specifically in the green space, because green has the highest access to a massive amount of card selection and recursion, to where it just makes you feel like your extremely powerful cards are being seen by you every single game, and also you can reuse them multiple times per game, which makes rares really dictate a lot of these battles. So there's something to be said about that, and the power of just first picking a green rare, even if it's a little bit lower power level than another rare in the pack from a different color, just because green gets the most value out of your already really good cards. If you guys want to see more awesome Duskmourn draft content, make sure to smash the like button, turn post notifications on, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another banger. And as always, if it's not the goo, it's got to go. Peace.
Is that indigo?